I'm still in my house and I'm welcoming you back, Eloise Shuttler, your storyteller. And I have some things to talk about today that probably are, we're doing the same thing or we're having similar experiences. That's what I would bet on, similar experiences. Today I had to move furniture before we could do this because the light blacked out on me, not electrically, but it was raining over here and it went dark in there the way the windows are set and so. So there was a little bit of drama figuring this out, moving it, but I like this. And Albert says that the light's pretty good. And so now I'm learning my house. I'm having to think about my house as to where the light is, and it doesn't mean a lamp that you're cutting on. So we're ready to go. And I was thinking how happy I am to be here. And really, I'm grateful to have a chance to talk to you. Not that there are things that are that rare or anything. Well, for instance, last night, I had a grocery delivery. Yes, indeed. A big truck arrives out front and they run in and they ring the bell. They ring the bell and you know that you don't have to come yet because what they're doing is letting you know that that truck is out there and that they are emptying what's your share. And so we wait and I looked out the front window and I saw them, they're waving as they get in the truck and I was waving out the window as they left, calling my daughter to come by and help me with these white plastic bags. They're really so nice about it. I hope the people that bring your groceries are doing the same. They bring those plastic bags up onto the stairs near my door so that we don't have to lift and lug and carry all the groceries in very far. That's really great. That's just valuable to me. That's really great. And the biggest surprise was that everything we ordered came. That doesn't always happen. You can be lost with a few things out. We went through and checked the list and we saw what we had in the refrigerator, how we get all this back into it. And then what I think about when I don't have something I've ordered is that I'm going to need a new recipe or I'm going to have to figure this out. And I tried something new last night. We got some mushrooms. We had ordered them and they were just great. Now, week before last, we ordered as part of our order that came potatoes. And Karen had checked small potatoes. I will tell you, I have never seen such small potatoes. There was a bag of small potatoes. They looked about the size of a golf ball. And I thought, oh, well, that'll be fine. We just cook all of them. That's enough for some salad or something. But it doesn't cook that fast. You still have to consider that it doesn't cook that fast. It really was funny. And I don't think I'll deliberately order those again, but they tasted good and they were interesting. Yesterday, the day before, whenever it was, we got, instead of normal sized mushrooms, we got big mushrooms. I never cooked such big mushrooms. And I thought, what am I going to do with this? What can I possibly do with this? This is not what I had in mind. This is not what I cook. But I went ahead and put it in a baking dish into the oven into 400 plus degrees and poured sauce on it. I used the soy sauce and some other things with some fruits and let it roast until it got all scribbled up and everything. And it was delicious. Absolutely delicious. And now I have a new recipe and I know what I need with that recipe. Practically nothing but big, big mushrooms. If that's worth anything to you, I hope you can use it. They call it one of the easiest vegan, I went to the internet, of course, one of the easiest vegan recipes that are out there. So we go on and we do what we have to do, in our lives, here in our houses, here in our homes, writing. I know I got a strange little message on my messenger this morning that was a picture of a member of our family, somebody that we care about and knows us well and all this. And they were waving to us from the inside of an airplane. Now, we have a habit within all of the people that know us. As the plane takes off, we try to do something like waving, waving goodbye. I have been doing that for years. And so anybody that knows us well knows this. And generally, they wave. And here was this person waving. The mask was on. The person was sitting on the edge of the aisle. He had an aisle seat, but he didn't have any glasses on. Now, we've learned recently by what we read that if you're in a full plane, which I have no idea to know who else was on that plane, but if you're in a full plane, it makes sense to put your glasses on and keep them on because it can protect you. If people start coughing and sneezing and all of that goes out into the air, you've already protected with your mask. Hey, protect your eyes as well. So I just wrote back a little note and said, hey, what about your glasses? I just guess that they put them on. So far, so good. And that's what we all have to look out for each other. Think about those things. And if you see something that you didn't know about before, share it out with somebody. But what's bothering me, may I share this with you? It's really bothering me that my hair is a wreck. It's a wreck. And I know that people are talking about it. I see it on Facebook, and they're talking about how they've cut their hair and it looks so good. And it's just their husbands or their daughters or their, mothers help them with it. But I learned years ago, I was a teenager, not to cut my own hair. Forget it. Don't do it. I was 13 and I wanted a permanent. I wanted a real permanent, not one of mother's permanents, but a real permanent at a beauty parlor so that I could look fabulous when I started junior high school in the 9th grade. Well, mother was willing to give me the money. She had a place where she had her hair done and she sent me up there. I didn't tell her, but what I took with me was a picture from Life magazine of Sophia Loren, the gorgeous Italian star, and her new poodle cut hairdo. She looked gorgeous. I dreamed about looking gorgeous like that, even though it was never going to be possible, but I wanted to give it a try. And I rushed down ran 6 blocks to go to this beauty parlor. Ran up the stairs. The lady said, "Oh, you're Eloise, aren't you? Your mama called me and we're going to fix and cut your hair." And I said, "Well, yeah, you are. And here's what I want you to do." And I handed her the picture. She looked at the picture, said nothing, but she looked at the picture. She said, "I've never seen this before." And I said, "Well, it's a movie star's picture. I just want that hairdo." And she said, "Well, I've never seen that before. So I'm a little nervous about whether I can really do the job you want me to do." And I said, "Well, you're the only one here, so go ahead." Well, she did all the things that it takes to do when you're having a permanent. the smells and the moving and then cutting and all of this. And it was 2 hours later that she was taking the curlers out of my hair after everything had dried. It was all dry. I was going to see it, and she brushed out. When she took the curls out, the curls just popped back. And so it looked, at first, I looked at it, I couldn't believe my eyes. It looked like there were Tootsie Rolls all over my head. I was getting a little uneasy. And so I looked, and she brushed it. Well, I'll tell you what she did is when I walked out of there, my hairdo looked exactly like my grandmother's. It did. It looked just like Granny. I gave her the money that Mother had given to me, instructions to give to her. And as soon as I could, I opened the door and I ran down the steps and I started running home. I was crying. My heart was broken. I didn't look like Sophia Loren with the poodle cut. I looked terrible. I looked like a little short person, young, who was now an old woman wearing her grandmother's hairdo. I ran all the way home as fast as I could. Upstairs into the bedroom, I closed the door. I sat and I beat it. I brushed it and I brushed it and brushed it. It didn't get any better. And so I reached over to the dresser drawer and I pulled it out. I picked up and I took a pair of scissors and I began to lift those curls and cut them off. And in my mind, I was thinking, it can't get any worse. And every time I cut one of those, it left a little stub on my head. And as I watched myself do that, I saw what was happening. And I thought, Eloise, you were wrong. It was bad, but this is worse. Worse. Picked up the hair, put the scissors back after I had finished, and I looked around my bedroom for a scarf or a hat of some kind that I could wear out in the world. And that's what I wore for the next few months until I finally grew some hair. And that's what my lesson was. Don't do it if you don't know how, or you aren't with someone that tells you, I'm the best, I'll do this for you. And so that's what I do now. I go to the beauty parlor because I love it. But I don't tell them just definitely what they have to do or what I want them to do. I just have to have some faith that they know what they're doing and it will turn out. You must have something in your life that has taught you a lesson like that. If you haven't got it on the top of your head or the tip of your tongue, think about it and tell somebody. They'll love it. Thank you for coming.